Well, I'm sure Tony Blair would be very proud. Let's begin. Now, of course, ever since Nigel Farage helped push it into the mainstream media, we've realised that we've had a little bit of a problem, shall we say, with all the illegal boat people coming over here from the safe country of France, illegally, of course. And to tackle that, of course, Keir Starmer in his election campaign saying he'd smash the gangs. Although, to be honest, it now seems that the only people who are going to get their back door smashed in is us. And I say that because he has just done something so monumentally stupid, in my opinion. It's just going to open the floodgates even more than what they are already. And that is because, according to this article, it says, warning, as Labour is set to let, wait for this, 100,000 migrants apply for, or claim more than likely, asylum after Rwanda is axed. I mean, has the guy had his brain amputated or something? Because I know he wants to clear the backlog, but to do it in that way, to let everyone who came here over illegally apply to stay, even when quite a lot of them are more than likely going to have criminal records, it's just madness, isn't it? Surely, because isn't that just waving a big sign in neon light saying, come over? Rather than, of course, either moving them to a safe third country first to do that over there, or send them back to the safe country of France, which is obviously a safe place. And get this, at least 90,000 migrants, or illegal immigrants as I like to call them, who were set for deportation to Rwanda will be among the 102,000 who will be processed through the asylum system. And just think, if they want to clear the backlog in that way, to say they brought the numbers down, they've done a good job, and smashing the gangs is work, no doubt, I guess they'll say. Just how thorough do you actually think any checks that will need to be done will actually be done? I'm guessing they'll just be rushed through, if anything, or maybe they'll just claim an amnesty and say, oh, let's just start from now, eh? I mean, hopefully I'm wrong with that. But at the end of the day, if they've got enough money to pay to come over here illegally, then why couldn't they have come over legally and actually filled the forms in and passed all the checks and things like that? And just think, if every one of these was allowed to stay, what impact would that have on our NHS, our schools, the police, and any other public service, which is obviously paid for by our tax money? And if you think about it, where will they all stay? No doubt, of course, we all have to scrimp and scrape to save up to get enough rent or mortgage or whatever. But could this mean, if they're being rushed through, if they'll be prioritised above our own citizens who may need a house of their own? It does make you wonder, doesn't it? And I say that because, listen to this, asked if those arriving by small boats would now have the right to claim asylum, the Prime Minister's official spokesperson said, we need to ensure that people who arrive here are processed so that the people are not sitting in the system, housed in expensive taxpayer-funded hotels as they have been under previous administrations. And whilst, don't get me wrong, it is good that they're trying to get people out of expensive hotels. However, if you are letting everyone, or the majority of people, stay because you're having to rush the checks, then where are they all going to go then? No doubt, of course, they'll move from hotels to purpose-built housing. And I've got a feeling since Labour got in, we'll see more and more boats come over. It does say here that the first boat crossed the channel yesterday since Sir Keir Starmer won the election, and his spokesperson admitted it would be a challenging summer for the government. James Cleverly, the Shadow Home Secretary, claimed it amounted to an amnesty. He said the first thing Labour did in government was to scrap the Rwanda deterrent, because remember, no matter what was said about it, if the planes ever went there, then it would be seen as a deterrent rather than just some sort of political statement or promise that they never intended to keep, with all the lefty lawyers going in and taking everyone off the planes. And any deterrent is surely better than just saying, yeah, come on, fill this form in and then you can stay. Hopefully the checks are done a little bit better than that. But if all these people coming over here from the safe country of France have slippery fingers in their phones or ID documents or whatever, end up in the bottom of the sea, then surely checks on those people are going to take much, much longer. So what would happen then? And how quickly would their applications progress? Especially if, you remember, they want to cut down the backlog, eh? And James carries on and said the second thing Labour did is to grant an effective amnesty to 100,000 illegal immigrants who are banned from claiming asylum under our plans. So if they were banned, why even let them do it? It's just absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? Surely the Labour Party has at least amounted a couple of brain cells in the time they were out of government to realise this. And it has taken the Labour Party less than 5 days to make the UK more attractive to asylum seekers than ever before. But of course, not to be outdone, Home Secretary Yvette Cooper has set out the first steps to establishing a UK Border Force Security Command. Sounds awesome, doesn't it? As if something's going to get done, but if anything, I think that'll be the new name for the taxi they're using, eh? And this command will apparently tackle the people smuggling gangs, bringing migrants across the channel in small boats. But what are they actually going to do? Are they going to say, he brought you over then, lads? That ain't going to work, is it? And admittedly, yes, okay, they might go a bit more in depth and launch investigations overseas, as what was said. However, you have to remember, surely we've only got jurisdiction in our own country, so we can only assist investigations. But isn't that the problem of every country to sort out their own illegal immigration problem in the first place? Because then, if they were stopped coming over there, then they wouldn't be able to come over here illegally in the first place, would they? No doubt, of course, if anything, that would more than likely, in my opinion anyway, make those countries more lazier if they think we're going to do their job for them. And you have to remember that the amount of money that the people pay these smuggling gangs in the first place is, let's just say, probably quite a lot, eh? Because not only do they want to come over here, but also because of any risks involved. So if one gang gets shut down, wouldn't another one just sort of spring up if they're earning loads of money? So it'll be a problem which will never end. Kind of like, if anything, the Ramona's attempts to get us back into the EU. I don't think that will ever end either. But, I could be wrong, because it says here, recruitment of a border security commander who will report directly to the Home Secretary will begin on Monday, with the new recruit expected to take up their post in the coming weeks, the Home Office said. So, what are they going to say to her? Yeah, Yvette, we've just stopped a boat of 300 people coming over here. What do you want us to do with it? Turn it round or bring them over? Bring them over? All right then, bye. And that's my interpretation of how the reporting would go. Sir Keir's spokesman, though, they said, clearly the government has set out its very clear position that the Prime Minister said over the weekend the Rwanda scheme is dead and buried. It started, the scheme was cancelled, and flights won't go ahead. And after hearing that, everyone who wanted to come over here illegally must have thought, ooh, good. We'll go over there. The Home Secretary has also commissioned an investigation from the Home Office and the national crime agencies into the tactics used by people smuggling gangs to inform a major law enforcement drive over the coming months, and we're getting to work straight away because we know that this summer will be challenging. Well, it certainly will now, with all the incentive that you have just given all the illegal boat people, eh? In my opinion anyway, and all this does sound very good, doesn't it? Home Secretary, an investigation, Home Office, National Crime Agency, tactics, all big massive words to make you think, oh, something is going to get done. But if anything, I think the only thing that is going to get done is it's going to process them through the system much quicker, because any checks, I reckon, will just be breezed through and it'll be tick, 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 tick. You can now stay. Hopefully I am wrong on that and only time will tell, but let's just say at the minute it doesn't look very good, does it, eh?